McEwen, number 1.
Oh, yes.
Number 1.
Number 1 for Cavan.
Number 1 for Cavan. Right, McEwen.
Good evening and welcome to All About Sport. Yes, we are here in Mullingar with our silver Olympian medalist, John Joe Nevin. Thank you so much, John Joe, for joining us on All About Sport and Cavan TV. Congratulations and welcome back to your home soil in Mullingar. How are you feeling?
I'm over the moon. No, I'm delighted with the medal. You know, I said at the start, I gave up my 2 world bronzes for an Olympic medal. I've brought home a silver. Like the nature of the beast, you always want to go the full way, but you know, I was a bit disappointed near the end, but you know, I would give my right arm for a bronze medal, you know, and thankfully to my coach Brian McEwen, I was with him since I was 13 years of age. He held me off for years and years when I wanted to get more extra fights, you know. He held me off. John G, you'll be the best, trust me, you'll be the best. He held me off, and you know, thankfully I stuck by him, and I trusted him, and it paid off in the end. He's an extreme, very good coach.
It certainly did. Well, you've done us all proud, and Cavan was well behind you all the way. The support, the pubs were overflowing with the support for you. Let's have a look at the silver medal. Hold it up there. My goodness, I get to touch this. This is a fantastic achievement. So, you know, if your feet touch the ground.
No, not yet. You know,
well,
I didn't really sink in, but to be honest, when we seen the papers at home and things, you know, it didn't look. We didn't know what it was all about. Like, we knew it was a bit of talk about it, but we didn't know it was this big, you know. And you know, to come home to such a welcome it's an amazing achievement.
yeah,
you know?
I think the Irish here and all over the world have warmed to you unbelievably, and everybody was rooting for you, you know, from the beginning. I've been following your Olympic journey, and we're so proud of you. And what's next for you, John Joe? Back in training, Brian? Are you going to have him back in training?
I wouldn't think so.
Is he going to get a bit of a break?
I'm going to go on the black water for a bit. Have 3 good weeks of black water, and then.
A top athlete like yourself.
Yeah, we'll think about it. Then we'll get the head down. Then after that, and we'll see where we're going. Brian and me will sit down and we'll see what's the best option for me is, because he's always looked after me, you know, and he'll pick the best choice for me. If he thinks he's going to be professional, he'll be professional. If he's not, you know, it won't be. And
you've been very professional throughout the whole tournament. Your family and friends must be very proud of you.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, but sure. You know, I'd like to thank also the support they've given me, my family, my club, my hometown, Cavan, the whole of Ireland. You know, it's been amazing.
Cavan want to claim you as their own. I think you're part Cavan, part Mullingar.
Yeah, I think it's half and half is right.
Yeah, we've been very, very proud of you. And Brian, how do you feel? You know, you've been a driving force throughout John Joe's career.
Like, I'm the proudest man in the world, because I know when I'm standing here now, I'm standing beside the best bantamweight in the world. I know it and he knows it. Like, God help Luke Campbell, we're going to meet him again. It's unfortunate that the final with Campbell comes so quick after the Cuban, because listen, the Cuban would have been his world final. It's very, very hard to get your feet back on the ground and get motivated and go back in the next day in an Olympic final. And John Joe took the gamble, he chased the fight, done everything he had to do. Maybe I'd like to see him box his own style a little bit more cute and make Campbell reach, but that's not here nor there. He had to make the decision on the night. But I'm very, very proud of him, and it's been a great 2 weeks, 3 weeks for us, and it's not over yet. Andrew's out on Friday night, and hopefully he'll do well. That's his first fight back after 18 months, and John Joe doesn't know what he's come home to, but it's going to be like this for the next 3 or 4 months. He'll not even know what privacy is, and
he's a well-known man around Ireland, but not only that, all around the world people have been following him and following his journey. So you're going to be, you're not going to have a moment's peace, John Joe, now, a sporting celebrity.
Well, that's right there, because not only did John Joe thrill people with his performances in the ring, but it was his dignity and his humility, and you know what I mean. It's the way he carried himself. Like, and he went to Beijing, he was only a boy. He went out there and now he's Olympic silver medalist, but as I say, he's the best bantamweight in the world. But he still wears the same size of cap that he wore when he went to school, and that's the way I want him to stay. Feet firmly on the ground. Think about your future. This is all over very, very fast. You must make the right decisions. We seen poor old Kenny when he came back, he went off the rails a bit, and by the way, did you hear him on the television, did you? We turned around and talked about the gold medal club. Kenny said he's all right, he can hang about with me.
So what's next for John Joe? John Joe, what's next for you? What are you aiming for next?
I just want to make a good future for myself, you know, no matter what it is. I believe I can go well in the professional ranks if I decide to go down that road, or I can still go well for another 4 years. Like I could go well in the Olympics again, you know. But whatever it is, you know, I'm just looking after me own benefit as well, you know, to try and make a good life for myself after me boxing. And my family, like, I'm trying to make a good life for myself after the boxing as well. You know, I'm not only thinking about now, I'm thinking about that after.
Afters, well, you've certainly done that. So, Brian, the future of Cavan Boxing Club, I think it's really put Cavan Boxing Club on the map.
Indeed, he's been putting it on the map for the last 10 years. It's not a big deal. Somehow, despite my best efforts to keep them back, they managed to get there in the end. But no, we'll keep taking over. There's another champion out there, QE Nevin. He's away to Germany next week. And QE's an exceptional lad. There's Joe, there's Paddy. I could go through them all, you know. Like, the thing that surprises me, Mullingar, such a town that has produced so many talented boxers. It's a wonder they never started a good club here. And by God, there'll be some pride, there'll be some pride and some support in this town. And if John Joe ever decided to go pro, I would make it my business. It would be wrote into the contract that his first contest would be here in this football field. Yeah. And that's a promise. That's a promise.
You're an inspiration, John Joe, to lots of young and up and coming boxers. How does that make you feel to see that you're a role model?
Yeah, it makes it like I like to inspire young kids. You know, no matter what sport they're in, I'd like them to go on and do so well in their sport, and you know, believe in themselves. They can reach their ambitions. Like, and you know, that's all I mean. Keep doing what you're doing and believe that you can go to the top. Yeah.
You're very smart and you really put yourself across well, and I think the Irish public just absolutely warmed to you. There's something very likeable about you, a very likeable factor, and I think the Irish public really fell for that, and the people all over the world. So how was the celebrations in London last night? We were all glued to our screens, we were watching you.
Like I have a sprained ankle at the minute. It happened in the first round at the boxing there in the final, but we didn't use that as an excuse. You know, the better man won the day, but I kind of I didn't go out yesterday, and and when I went to the closing ceremony, you know, I was sitting on my ass for the 3 hours I was there. You know, some of the lads started slagging me like that. Maybe I was trying to look up the Spice Girls, the skirts, but it wasn't like that at all.
So did you get to meet any of these celebrities or any of the last night?
The only celebrities I nearly met was Ryan Giggs and Craig Bellamy. I got a picture took of them, and I posted on my Twitter page.
Well, I'm sure they were very proud. I'm sure they were saying the same. They got a photograph with an Olympian and with a celebrity.
Star newspaper, they met me too.
Oh, fantastic. So Brian, in relation to Cavan Boxing Club, you know, you've great inspiration, all these boxers. You've had a lot of success with boxers over the years. You've spoken to us before and all about sport, about the deterioration of the boxing club, the lack of facilities, the hole in the roof, no change facilities for the ladies. You know, at this day and age, you know, what are you hoping for? Now that you have an Olympic silver medalist, what are you hoping for? What can the government and what can people do to help get Cavan Boxing Club up to the standards that are expected for these top athletes?
What am I hoping for? An Olympic gold medalist, maybe a world champion. But we've moved to a new gym. It's a bigger gym, and we've the 2 rings up now. We're getting it into shape. Still, the facilities are pretty spartan. We have no changing facilities. We have no showers. We have no toilets. We're like 90% of the other clubs in the country. We have no running water, and like we have a very strong female element in the club. And thank God they're the type of girls that just adapt to it. But we're starting a new season. We have a good strong base, and as I said, the facilities are better. I have a few new coaches, and you know, hopefully we'll have a good year, and maybe
absolutely,
and throw a few sponsors towards the club. You know, because after all, he's achieved so much as a coach. He's Andy Murray, Johnny Mitchell, you know, and he'd Pat Cosgrove, you know, he's the top boys of Ireland, like, yeah. You know, he's a top coach. I think one of the best in Europe, never mind in Ireland, you know.
So you've heard it here and all about sport. You know, we're looking for the sponsorship for the club to, you know, to keep the club up and running. Brian, I really hope that you know, you'll get, the phone will be ringing tomorrow when you'll be getting the calls needed.
No. I think with the impression John Joe was made, and that when he goes and he meets these different people, I think he can influence, and he can throw something our way. And you can be sure there's nobody likes a winner more than a politician, and the politicians will take notice.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Brian, I wish you and the club the best of luck. Thank you for taking time to talk to us. And John Joe, it's a pleasure, and I'm going to have a little touch of the Olympic silver medal.
No, come in here for a second. Oh, you getting on, right? How are you doing, buddy? Right. You're over. You lost your road. Just get the two on the road first, then I get Mum and Dad in a second. I think they're the two. No, you hold up the number. Between the two of you, that's course. Okay. Lads, you want to come back a bit? We move back a little bit, lads. We're all here together. Yeah, Mark. Back up, boys. Back up, lads. We get a wider shot. That's it. You want to congratulate on the stage? Just in here, lads? Not particularly, no. Lads, over this side. Mum and Dad, you get in now on the other side, okay? It's John Joe's night. You go up if you want, mate. I don't, man. It's not my night, it's your night. Just 2 seconds. Give them one yard shuffle. John Joe, all of it. Go ahead. Down here. Don't give out the last. John Joe. Can I get one of your mum and dad? Stay we are a second now. Back to one now. Back me back in there now, will you please? Hold on a second now. You hold the middle up there. Mum and dad hold the middle. People don't know what they want to do. Big smile now, that's great. Mum and Dad, look at him. Both look at him, okay? That's it. And you're looking at your mum there. That's it. Now, big smile all of you. Lovely. Just in the air. Love. Advise me to get organised, get on stage. This way, John Joe. Give me that. Right, guys, you go play each other off space and don't the pitch, alright? He's going to go hit 7 nights. I want to 4 you together, actually. We're around there, to raise out. We're around there, grab 9, just going to 4 you together. He's not shy, you're not mouse. What's he shy? He's very shy. Like that, even here, good man. Look in the KHP. Good man. KHP is the one that matters. You didn't explain that one to me. I know, I did. 2 seconds. I'm going to sign an autograph there for that kid back there. That's John Joe coming up there now. So you're a minute and a half, guys, alright? So a minute and a half. Okay. Who's got the camera, guys? Okay. Alright, either side there, girls, quick.
Quick now. Oh, this is lovely. Very cheesy. Oh, do one more. You quick. Squeeze them all the time. I love it. God bless you. God bless you. Well done. God bless you.
Alright, well done.
There we are.
Yes, but you look well in our TV yesterday. And he has no TV license himself. This man paid for TV screens. Thanks very much. No problem. I got the choose. There you go. Quick one. I'll take it here. Seconds. 1 minute. 1 minute. Sorry, Paul. Alright, take it for you. The middle one I pressed. Yeah. Working love. Okay. Alright. Quick one. Yeah, ready to go, lad. 30 seconds. Let's go. Alright, good. Alright, Olympians, we will relax over, yeah? Up and down.
And the only worry that I had in the whole fight was when he started showboating at the end.
I went to Premier World Championship and I got bronze in both of them. And I tried in both for an Olympic medal. You know, it's 4 years today. It was not a 4 year in my life, but you know, I stuck with the lads. I improved it and I get the ball.
I can see the Mullingar shuffle being well used Saturday night in Enniscorthy. Now I'm going to invite our Olympians to go in front of me.
Anybody who gives John Joe Nevin a bit of space to think, they're in trouble.
Now I'm going to invite our two Olympians go in front of me, up and down. John Joe. Let's hear it from Mullingar. Back for a few minutes. The other sport we achieved so well in, and the president of the Cavan Monaghan Boxing Club is here with us this evening, and I'd like to call on Martin Cadden, who's also representing Ulster Boxing, to say a few words. Thanks very much.
Hello. On behalf of the Cavan Monaghan County Board, I'd like to congratulate John Joe on a fantastic achievement. He's a fine example to all the clubs about what can happen if you're willing to concentrate, work hard and push on. John Joe had a dream, the same as I'm sure Brian McKeown here had a dream, of someday taking home a medal. Now John Joe nearly done it in Beijing 4 years ago, but he didn't give up. He went back to the gym and he worked hard and he sweated and he pushed and pushed and he never gave up. And today he's sitting here with a silver medal, and in boxing we're very proud of him. This is a fantastic day to be in Mullingar. It's a fantastic day to be Irish, and it's a fantastic day for boxing. Now I can't let it go without mentioning the other medalists as well. Paddy Barnes, Michael Conlon, and of course Katie Taylor, who took home the gold. But we are here for John Joe Nevin and for Joseph Murphy. Now I don't know much about the 3-day event and being from the boxing fraternity, but I wish him well and think he done an excellent job. I'd like to thank in particular here now Brian McKeown and the Cavan Boxing Club. Everybody starts somewhere, and John Joe got what he got from Brian McKeown and went on to achieve what he has achieved. I would like to wish John Joe, Brian and the Cavan Club all the best for the future. And I'm sure that John Joe Nevin shuffle that we've seen there is not the last time we're going to see that in the ring.
Thanks very much. The next man I'm going to introduce to you might tell us some of the true stories when John Joe was a younger boxer and how he tried to control that. I'd like you to put your hands together for Brian McKeown, the manager of the Cavan Monaghan Boxing Club, please.
I think we all have to admit that Joseph and John Joe done us all proud, and everybody felt 10 foot tall. But I can tell you now, these two lads feel like $1 million. Yous have done them proud. Right? John Joe's come home here with the silver medal. Big deal. I know I've got the best bantamweight in the world. And contrary to what people tell you, John Joe didn't start with me. He started with the Brosna Boxing Club, and he was a champion before he come to me. But God must have been smiling on me the day he sent that child through my door. Because it's just been success after success after success. And I do strongly feel at this minute, and a lot of you people standing up there will remember this man, David Dan Nevin. Died tragically earlier this year. David was a very, very special young man. He was an inspiration to John Joe. He was an inspiration to the whole generation of boxers in my club. And he's sadly missed. Where do we go from here? John Joe went to Beijing as a child. Boxed there to be skinned. Got beat by the Mongolian, who not only went on to win the gold medal, but win the Val Barker Trophy for the best boxer of the tournament. Right? Third round, John Joe, 17, 18-year-old child, boxing the best boxer in the world. Takes a count, he could have run and hit. Right to the final bell, John Joe chased him. And that's when we knew we had something special. Now we went out here and we fought Luke Campbell. See Luke Campbell? Put him under his arm. I'm not joking you. He would hammer Luke Campbell. But the unfortunate thing was that John Joe beat the world champion the night before. And what really happens there, you cannot imagine. You imagine how excited you feel. Imagine you coming out of the ring and you've just beat the world champion. How do you get your feet back on the ground within 24 hours to go and box an Olympic final? It's impossible. And then you're sitting back in your room and you're trying to come down, and you know there's an expectation of the nations on you. People are telling you you're going to get the best boxer of the whole tournament. He was the best boxer of the whole tournament. He took a gamble. He took a gamble, he changed his tactics. He thought, if this is what I have to do to win, I'll do it. Now, I have a generation of these kids boxing for me in Cavan, and I'm very, very proud of every one of them. I'm going to mention a young fella now that's going off to the Brandenburg Cup in Germany. He goes back up into the training camp. One of the quietest children that ever walked into the gym. He's young Huey Nevin. You've probably seen him around the town, but you wouldn't have heard much of him, or you wouldn't have seen much of him. He's another exceptional kid. Paddy and Joe, you'd hear plenty of them, all right. But as I said, we go back a long time with John Joe, and there's lots of stories to be told, and you know what I mean. He's put an awful lot into his sport, and his dedication and commitment, you know, to me, has always made him a champion. And what I think come across more than anything during the recent Olympics, it wasn't just his performance. The performances were brilliant, but it was his dignity and his character, you know, and his respect for the opposition, in victory and in defeat. And it has to make people have a wee look, you know, at their perception of the travelling community and the prejudices they have. We have a young man that went out and represented his family, represented his community, and represented his country. And we're all very, very proud of him tonight. You've been an absolutely brilliant crowd, and you know, I'm so proud to see us all come out here. I'm so proud to see you support my boxer, and I know in my heart, if it's on the amateur game, it'll be a gold medal here. And if, and that's a very big if, the decision is to take the vest off and fight the other way, we will ensure that written into his contract, next summer, he will have a fight here in this football pitch. So, thank you very much.
This man needs no introduction. Let's hear it for John Joe Nevin. Olympian 2012 and silver medalist. Thank you.
Hey, John Joe, there's a huge crowd out here to support you. I suppose you're feeling the love from Mullingar tonight.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today. It's a dream come true for me to come back and get represented by such a big crowd, and I'd like to thank the Civic Defence for giving up their time, and the Garda, you know, and everyone that gave up their time to come out and show their support. You know, it really means a lot.
Have you been able to take your eye off that medal since Sunday?
Well, I have slept with him and keeping one eye open, you know, no one's coming here. I've been in another fight.
The only thing is, I remember I spoke to you before the Olympics took place. You said how important the birth of your son has been for your career, and you as a person, you've had a chance to give him a medal here tonight, and it must be a special moment to have your family up on stage with you as well. It is.
It means a lot to have my family here. Without my father and mother, you know, I'm waiting being here today, and he was a big inspiration. Brian McKeown was another big inspiration. And you might have seen me pointing to the skies when I was over there. That was to my cousin David, you know, who passed away in February. He was another big inspiration. You know, I looked up to a lot of people, but hopefully this young man can look up to me, and he can even write me off the script and be even better.
You mentioned David. Throughout the bouts that you were going through, you said you were drawing a lot of strength from him as well.
Yeah, well, I came into my contests like I was going to get in the head punching myself, and I was coming in smiling. So, you know, I knew Dave would be with me no matter what, and I go out to enjoy it, and you know, thankfully it paid off in the end.
For you, you come back with a silver medal. Kenny Egan, you called your god during the games as well. He was a guy you wanted to emulate. You have that silver medal now as well.
Yeah, maybe it was a bit of a bogey calling me God. No, I ended up with a silver just like him, you know.
Does that mean that Billy Walsh is still calling you Hi-Ho Silver as well?
Yeah, it's Hi-Ho Silver and the two bronzos and the golden girl, Katie.
John Joe, it was a great achievement by the team generally. Katie Taylor comes back with a goal. As you mentioned, the two guys from the North both with bronze medals as well. From a team of 6 to come back with 4 medals is a huge achievement.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Irish boxing is growing by the day, and you know, as Brian said, I have my own brother and 2 cousins of mine, Joe and Huey. But I forgot to mention the young lad from Holy Family. He's from this town by boxing Holy Family. Christopher Nevin is a tremendous boxer, you know, and these lads have big futures in front of them. You know, they just need to believe, and you know, it'll pay off at the end of the day.
I know you've said it in the past that Brian has been a huge influence in your career. He's a guy who's moulded you as a boxer, really. Yeah,
Brian's been a big inspiration to me, and you know, when I was 14 years old, I wanted to game with 17 and 18 year olds just to get a trophy, like, and he'd hold me off. No, John, we'll hold you back in that one. You'll be the best of them all yet. There'll there'll be no one wanting to box you, you know. And you know, he was right at the end of the day, because if I had to go in with these 18-year-olds, I mightn't be here today, you know. I could be left in the hospital or something.
John Joe, you said that a month before you went to the London Olympics you were considering not going at all. How close did you go to maybe not being there?
I'd spoken to my coach, and I just hadn't been performing well. I knew I said it at the press conference, I'm up there with the top in the world, like, and I can beat anyone in my day if I perform, like, but I wasn't performing. And you know, the training camp we had then, I got my mind around it, and I was sparring well and things, and no, I don't know, I just decided to go then. I gave it me all.
I've asked you about your family, chance to ask you about friends as well. You picked up quite a few on Twitter along the way. I know that Niall Horan is here as well. He was mobbed nearly as much as you guys coming in.
Yeah, Niall is. We went out for a drink Friday and he got me killed. But we won't put that. But yeah, he's a great lad. Like, and another lad to look up to. You know, the likes of him, Brezzy. You know, they're great lads to have as mates on Twitter, and they got me all these followers. But I'd like to thank the both of them as well.
In terms of friends a bit closer to home on the team itself, yourself and Darren O'Neill are called the husband and the wife of the Irish team.
He's the wife, by the way, now.
You come back here to Mullingar. We've had talks with Brian possibly coming, if you were to turn professional, to fight here. People are wondering, is that something you're going to consider now?
Yeah, well, 3 weeks, I'm going to take 3 weeks off without thinking about anything, you know, just relaxing, and we'll see where we go from there, you know. And I'd love to go back and fight for a gold medal, but I'm thinking about me life after. I'm thinking about my life after the box, you know. Where am I going to go from there? And I have to look out for my best interest, and we'll see what kind of offers is there for us, and we'll sit down with Brian and my management and see what we do from there.
Mick's been feeding me a few stories from the Olympics while you were there. He said after you beat the Mexican, you were thanking your feet. What was the story with that?
Oh, stop. If I hadn't had my feet, it would have been fucking murdered. No, I was actually in the dressing room afterwards, and Billy caught me talking to my feet and was like, thank you for keep moving.
I enjoyed the fight hugely with Lazar Alvarez. I think one of the best fights that we actually got to see in the boxing at the Olympics. Tell us, what was the idea behind the Mullingar Shuffle as it came to an end?
I don't know, probably just because I was boxing world champion. I wasn't under no pressure, you know. As far as I was going, like, I had nothing to lose. He was world champion, and maybe it's something sweet when you're beating up a Cuban, you know. They're the best in the world. And I was hopping off them, so it kind of brought out in me.
Can I ask you then about the final itself before I let you go off and enjoy the rest of the evening? Unfortunately, it didn't work out for you. Was there maybe a bit too much to do after that first
No,
round?
I have no excuses. The better man won the day, and you know, I take my hat off to Luke Campbell. He's the better man today.
We spoke to Marty Morrissey after the fight. You were very, very disappointed. Have things eased for you since? Can you realise what a huge achievement it is and how proud all these people are of you coming back with a silver medal?
Yeah, well, the nature of the beast, you know, when you get so far, you want it all. You want everything, but it wasn't meant to be, and you know, I was a bit disappointed. But when I sat down and thought about it, the morning after, I got away with Niall Horan not getting arrested. But yeah, it means a lot to bring back a silver medal. They gave me a right arm beforehand for a bronze. I was speaking to my father, I said, would you take a bronze right now if we got offered? And he said, no, father, would you take it hand and all, no? But no, to bring back a silver medal to my country, my town, and all you fans is a dream come true.
Your flag is covering up the tattoo at the moment, but is there a silver medal going to go on that arm now?
I don't know what's going on. London's definitely going down anyway, and we'll see where to put the silver medal. It's definitely going in the mother's cupboard anyway. We're going to have another fight.
John Joe, all I can do is wish you the very best of luck, whether it's in the professional ranks or whether you're going to be amateur at the World Championships and maybe the next Olympics as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, and thank you.
That was a lovely finale, wasn't it?
Well, that's it from All About Sport here in Cusack Park in Mullingar, County Westmeath. What a magnificent show of events for John Joe Nevin, our silver Olympic medalist. It's been fantastic. The crowd has gone mad. We've also been joined by our equestrian finalists and also Niall Horan from One Direction. It's been a wonderful evening. The crowds have loved every moment of it, and John Joe has really entertained the crowd. So thank you for watching. I'll be back next week on Cavan TV.